Lina, Lina,
Lina, Lina,
Lina, Lina.
I belli occhi tene, la signorina.
Good morning. We are going with friends who've got a lovely fisherman boat. So we're going to go for the day. It's Sunday. Their names are Manuel and Pepe. And we're going to go for a ride on their boat. So we're going to take you with us.
How do you like the fishing boat?
I love it.
Without being fishing? No
Without
fishing.
fishing, it's pretty good.
Loads of people out today. Sunday, pure sun.
Tu che creaste i cieli e gli stibbi, tu che creaste l'umare e le pisci di lumare, tu che creaste le tunne e le tunnare, ora ne vai aiutare.
So this is the third day on the road that I'm picking some tomatoes. They're growing so well, but I've also seen that my runner beans have come to their end. But my chicks love the flowers and the leaves of the runner beans, so I'm leaving them on and I'm slowly picking them and giving them to the chickens in the evenings, which they love. Daddy's keeping an eye out on them. Mummy's disappeared. I don't know where she is. Every end of the school term, my head organizes trips, or we go to restaurants, or we do excursions. This time she decided to take us to the natural reserve of Vendicari on an excursion, which was organized by 3 tour guides. It was 3 of us, and we decided to just stop off at Noto to have a quick swim as it was extremely hot. Our meeting point was at Calamosche parking, and it was Angela, Karen and I, who we all teach at the same association but in different schools. They teach in Avola. Actually, sometimes Karen also teaches in Floridia, and I mainly teach in Floridia. And we have made a good friendship between us, and often we go hiking. The excursion lasted 4.5 hours. There were about 50 people. So here I am with my bus and her friend, and we're on our way. We're on our way to Calamosche, beautiful beach. Yeah, and it's damn hot. Really, really hot, but it's great. So after about a 15-minute walk from the starting point, we reached Calamosche beach, and we had an amazing swim in the crystal clear waters that were so refreshing, as the temperatures were extremely hot that day, and we really enjoyed it. They gave us about a 20-minute break to swim and just get fresh, and then we got dressed and we started to climb back up the steps and back on the road back towards actual Vendicari. The walk was about 3.5 kilometers from Calamosche to Vendicari. It was all flat and straight on a dusty, slightly rocky path along the coastline, and the views were absolutely breathtaking. We stopped off at a big pond and did a bit of bird watching, and 2 of the guides, Grazie Casssarisi and Giuseppe Implantini, talked a little bit about the birds that live and migrate and go away every year from this pond. So we're on our way now to do a bit of snorkeling. As I said, it is a 3.5 kilometer walk from Calamosche to Vendicari. The sound is probably pretty bad because there is a bit of wind, but it's not sea wind, which is good for us. And they are going to show us some amazing underwater things. After visiting the Eco Museum, which Paolino Uccello guided us through, he also took us on a snorkeling adventure, where we saw Posidonia oceanica, which is also a Mediterranean seagrass, and it is so important to the ecosystem here in Sicily. We also saw barracuda and other different types of fish. I highly recommend all 3 tour guides, and I will leave their details below in the description box, and also the links that will take you to their Facebook pages. Paolino Uccello, which is the guy who is now talking to us in the tuna factory here, has an amazing way of giving information about the place and the surrounding and nature. And he uses old Sicilian quotes and stories and songs to make it so enjoyable. In fact, I used his voiceover for this episode at the beginning and during some of the videos.
Imperativo assoluto, aiutaci, non ci lasciare da soli. Lina aspirato in arabo vuol dire piccoli pezzetti di palma che adornano il paradiso. Per cui loro facevano questo corteggiamento affinché in pratica Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
chi vede capitene a signorina
Che belle capitene a signorina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
chi vede occhi tene a signorina
Che belle occhi tene a signorina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
Lina Lina
chi bello petto tene a signorina
Che bello petto tene a signorina.
Senza strumenti tecnici. Quindi il tonno arrivava qui, lo sventravano, prelevavano 33 parti diverse di tonno, infatti veniva chiamato il maiale di mare, è venduto nelle macellerie, a tal punto che il pitrè lo fa parlare e il tonno dice il tonno potesse gocciolare il più possibile e perdere tutta l'acqua che aveva accumulato durante la bollitura.
Questa pasta è buonissima. Mi piace il pane col burro.
A pasta no?
Insomma.
Stasera no, vero nonna?
Lemon granita?
This is the best thing to have in the morning, especially when it's hot.
Yeah.
There is a problem. When you have too much at the same time,
Yeah.
my brain freezes.
Hey, brain freeze.
And my eyes go weird.
But it's worth it, right?
It's worth the pain. Yeah.
Worth the brain freeze.
Vabbè, sono più alto però.
Here we have a gentleman who's lived in Melbourne. Hai vissuto in Australia?
I've been in Australia,
Really? Where?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. What's your name?
Armando Bordieri.
Oh.
Bordieri.
And this is his wife, la signora Porvieri.
My way.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Ciao ragazzi.
Have a good day. Bye, guys.
Hanno venuto parenti, amici dei parenti e tutti.
Fantastico.
Quest'anno faccio anch'io l'inglese.
Ok, perfetto.
bene.
Ti aspettiamo.
I miei piccoli.
Yes. Bye.
That should be ready. Perfect. Buongiorno. Okay, so today I'm going to make a pizza, but a pizza with a difference. It is called a meat pizza, minced meat pizza. It's Maria's recipe. Well, Maria likes making it. I'm doing it with a little bit of a Massimo touch to it. You're going to need not many ingredients, a few. You're going to need your mincemeat. We have got a mixed mincemeat, so it's beef and pork together. It's much more flavoursome. We enjoy it like that. Some mozzarella, which I have pre-sliced, as you can see. I've got some garlic and onions mixed together. I've chopped it up quite finely. I've got 2 eggs. I've taken out more of the white and I've left the 2 yolks. Some oregano, very important. I've got some of our cherry tomatoes from our garden and I've mixed basil in that. You can't see it's in the bottom there. Pre-cooked tomato sauce. So it's like a normal tomato sauce you would make. It's pre-cooked, so I'm going to put that on top. I'll show you that in a second. Parmesan cheese. Yeah. Some prosciutto crudo, so it's cured ham, and some provolone affumicato, which is a Italian cheese. It's smoked, smoky cheese, and some breadcrumbs. First we get the onions. We mix them in there, onions and garlic, so I've mixed them all in there. You can't see the garlic because it's the same color as the onions. That's going all in together. Mix that in there. Then you get your eggs, you put your eggs in there as well. So there's 2 yolks with less white, you put them in there. My hands have been cleaned, I've washed my hands before, so if you see me using my hand, there's a reason. Some breadcrumbs, I'm going to do about a fistful of breadcrumbs, I would say a cupful, yeah? So you put that all in there. 3 grated Parmesan cheese, which we have bought. So I'm going to put about half of the breadcrumbs that you put in there. Okay, you're going to pour your salt in there. It's going to get all mixed together. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt. I like fresh ground black pepper. Gives off a lot more flavor. And last, in that mix, you're going to put some olive oil in there. It's obviously to get all of those flavors mixed up. Get your hands in there, don't be shy, and mix it all about. It needs to be really mixed well. So I get my hands in there and I mix it really well. At the end of this, I'm going to put some, actually, I should put it in now, some oregano. So Maria's helping me to put some oregano in.
You want some more?
You take
Oregano.
the stalks out. Oregano in American, oregano in Italian.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more because I want it nice and flavored. And yeah, and you just get mixing. So this is basically going to be your pizza dough made out of mincemeat.
It's the same base as you would for meatballs.
Yeah, so
Some people like to put fresh wet bread in. The Sicilians prefer to use dried breadcrumbs, but it's entirely up to you.
okay, so we need to get that mix nice and sticky, so it sticks to the bottom of the actual Pyrex dish, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Right, you got your Pyrex dish. It actually says Pyrex in it.
It is original.
Okay, so you get some oil, you smear some oil on the base of it, Don't be shy with oil. Oil's good, especially if it's olive oil.
Yeah.
So I'm smearing it on with my hands to get it nice and thick based in there. That is only so it doesn't stick too much. What I'm going to do here, which Maria has asked me to do, which she does, she puts breadcrumbs to line it with. So like you would do with flour and a cake mix, you line it with breadcrumbs. All that does, it gives it a bit of a crunch, which is really nice and crunchy. So we get the breadcrumbs, put that in there, okay, and then you just twist it around so the breadcrumbs line everywhere. Look at that, just like you would do in a cake mix. There you go. So you got your breadcrumbs and a mess that I've made, but that's fine. So I'm going to do this in quarters or half. So I'm going to take it, flatten it out a bit because I want to get almost an even obviously layer of it. You flatten that all out in there. Don't worry because it'll all mix together. Take it out in bits like that. Makes life easier like this. You put them in and you squash it into place like that. You'll see the breadcrumbs will move around a bit and it all gets nice and sticky to the sides of it. I'm flattening it out like that. Filling in the gaps and the meat just sticks together as it should.
Almost, it's like a pizza base.
Yeah. Okay, so while I'm flattening it out, I need to remind you something. The oven needs to be preheated. I have turned it on. It's been on for about maybe 20 minutes now. It's getting a nice preheat on it. In fact, little red lights haven't gone off yet. It should go off in a minute, which tells me it's heated to the right temperature. So we made that pre-cooked sauce that I was talking about before, and I'm gonna just layer that on there like you would do with a pizza. It is a pizza after all, a meat pizza. Take that, layer that out. I'm doing it in stages to get an even layer of tomato sauce on top. So I'm going to take my prosciutto. Prosciutto crudo. You can actually put cooked ham as well.
Yeah,
not too
or
bad.
you don't have to put anything.
Or you don't have to put. This is just a little touch that we're adding.
Yeah.
So I'm going to layer that. Put a layer of it on top. I need to tell you that when prosciutto cooks and it's a cured ham, it does tend to shrivel up, makes a crispiness on the top.
A bit like bacon, isn't it?
Yes, exactly like bacon would. Taking my provolone strips, the smoked cheese, and I'm putting that on, making a nice layer, obviously leaving little gaps between it. It is going to melt into the top, like a pizza would. On top of that, I'm going to put in between the gaps the mozzarella sliced, so you distribute it all evenly. What were you going to say, Maria?
I was just reminding everyone again, this is optional. You can just put one type of cheese, or you can even just put Parmigiano, or you can change it as you like, really. You don't need to add 2 types of cheese.
What I'm going to do to the tomatoes and basil, I'm going to put some oil in that, so I don't have to worry about putting oil on top, because it's going to have this oil in the tomatoes already, so you don't have to worry about oil on top. So mix that all up. I'm going to distribute it by hand. So my hands are clean, so there you go. Get that and sprinkle that all on top. These are our little tomatoes from our garden.
Yeah, we'll be getting so many.
Yeah, I think they're almost done now.
Almost.
We didn't plant that many this year, but yeah. Okay, so that oil in there, beautiful. You want to drizzle that all on top. Get as much basil as you can on top of that. That piece of basil escaped.
Looks nice.
Okay, Maria says I'm very messy. I'm a chef. I know I'm messy. Okay, folks, that's just about done. As you can see, I've laid it all very nice and evenly. Last little couple of touches, I'm putting a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese on top. Getting that all sprinkled out. Not too much, you don't want to exaggerate with that. Because it gets maybe a bit too salty, rich. And last but perfect little touch to it. Fresh, it's dried oregano.
But it is.
Sprinkle that on top, it's from fresh. And we've dried that out. So that's the last little bit, the oil I've got on there ready from the tomatoes. And that is done. That goes into the oven. And as I said, 25 minutes in there. I'm putting it in the middle-ish, a little bit higher than the middle, and that should cook up pretty good. That should be ready. Perfect.
Oh my goodness, that looks so nice. Thanks, Mass.
Right, so this is the test, the boss test. She let me know what it tastes like.
Really made a mess.
What do you think?
That prosciutto crudo.
Gives it the perfect salty
Never used
flavor.
prosciutto crudo with this. I've always done it really plain, but it just gives it that salty,
Bacony
very,
flavor.
very nice. Well done, Massi. You'll have to do it again. Thank you for watching this week's video and coming with us on our adventures and tasting Massi's minced meat pizza. See you next time. Bye bye.